Friday, 11th of September 2015. First, let's look at the paper headlines on Daily Mirror. Dr. Arya Ratna, Radhika and Shibli nominated to CC. The Constitutional Council, which met for the first time yesterday after the new parliament was formed, decided to appoint Sarvodaya Movement founder A.T. Arya Ratna, President's Counsel Shibli Aziz and former UN official Ms. Radhika Kumaraswamy as its civil society representatives, it's learned. The Speaker, the Prime Minister and the opposition leader are its ex-officio members. Another headline from Daily Mirror. Study finds toxic chemical in Kalani River. Studies conducted by the Center for Environment and Nature Studies have found high levels of toxic chemical arsenic, nearly 4 milligrams per liter, in several areas in the Kalani River, which is the main source of drinking water for Colombo and its suburbs. Another headline from Daily Mirror. 3 decomposed bodies found in Gampaha. Severely decomposed bodies of a man, woman and a child have been found in an abandoned house in Udugampola, Gampaha yesterday morning, police said. More headlines from Daily Mirror. FR petition filed against excessive cabinet. A fundamental rights petition was filed in the Supreme Court yesterday challenging President Maithripala Sirisena's decision to increase the number of cabinet ministers from 30 to 48. Another headline from Daily Mirror. Tajuddin's injuries could have been from assault. JMO. Ex-JMO Professor Anand Samarasekara, in his final autopsy report filed in court, asserts that the death of Mohammad Wasim Tajuddin was due to unconsciousness, disability of limbs and inhalation of carbon monoxide gas emitted from the fire. The detailed report stated that at the time of the onset of the fire, he was alive but unconscious and totally disabled, for he was breathing till his death. The report also stated that there was high level of ethanol in the blood of Tajuddin and he would have consumed it during the interval of 2 hours prior to the incident. More headlines from Daily Mirror. Ranil briefs new MPs on real roles. Funds under the decentralized budget will not be released to the newly elected MPs who failed to attend the orientation sessions which is currently being held for them, Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe said yesterday. Another headline from Daily Mirror. 2 more deputy ministers sworn in. Kandy District MP Anuradha Jayaratne and Kegol District MP Dushmantha Mitrapala were yesterday sworn in as deputy ministers by President Maithripala Sirisena, bringing the total number of deputy ministers to 23. Mr. Jayaratne was appointed deputy minister of Mahaveli and Environment and Dushmantha Mitrapala the deputy minister of Buddha Sasana and Justice. Another headline from Daily Mirror. Sashindra questioned by PCOI. Former Uva Province Chief Minister Sashindra Rajapaksa and some public officials were summoned by the Presidential Commission of Inquiry into large-scale corruption with regard to alleged distribution of state-owned land in Mahiyangana, incurring a loss to the government. Another headline from Daily Mirror. MR falls CBK on her remarks to foreign media. Former President Mahinda Rajapaksa, in a statement posted on his website for the consumption of voters, took a swipe at his erstwhile colleague, former President Chandrika Kumaratunga, saying her recent remarks to the foreign media were detrimental to the interests of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party as a whole. Now let's move on to the paper headlines from Ceylon today. Tajuddin was assaulted and wounded. JMO. Former Chief Judicial Medical Officer Anand Samarasekara informed the Colombo Chief Magistrates Court yesterday that rugby player Mohammad Wasim Tajuddin had been pulled out from the vehicle he was travelling and assaulted on his head and several places on his body, and as a result he had lost consciousness. He also said while Tajuddin was alive, he had been put back into the vehicle and when it was being driven, the vehicle had veered off the road. Another headline from Ceylon today. Cabinet violates Citizens FR. Attorney at Law UK Aruna Laksiri of Handapanagoda filed a fundamental rights petition in the Supreme Court stating that his fundamental rights stood violated by appointing a cabinet of more than 30 ministers of parliament. The petitioner has cited President Maithripala Sirisena and Attorney General as respondents. Another headline from Ceylon today. Defeated candidates in national lists. MEP wants appointments made void. Former Member of Parliament and Vice President of Mahajan Exit Peramuna, come trade union leader D.D. Soma Virachandra Siri, who filed a fundamental rights petition challenging the parliamentary national list yesterday, filed an election petition in the Court of Appeal. Another headline from Ceylon today. Ranil comes down hard on MPs. Attending a training session for new MPs, Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe has said those who don't attend training sessions will not receive their decentralized funds. nominations. More headlines from Ceylon today. 4 PSD men killed in vehicle collision. 4 officers attached to the Presidential Security Division were killed and 6 others critically injured in a multi-vehicle traffic collision involving 2 buses and a Land Rover Defender in Yagodamulla, Minuwangoda yesterday. Police said 3 males and 1 female of the PSD were among those who were killed. And that's from Ceylon today. Now let's move on to the paper headlines from Daily News. Key witness in Tajuddin death intimidated. The Attorney General's Department yesterday informed court that a key witness in the raga player Wasim Tajuddin death has been intimidated. State Counsel Dilan Rotnaika, appearing on behalf of the Attorney General yesterday, informed Colombo Additional Magistrate Nishant Pieris that a key witness in the Tajuddin's death has been intimidated and the Criminal Investigation Department has launched a probe. The State Counsel also informed court that a mobile phone used by Tajuddin has been found and the investigators believe that it contained vital information. The Additional Magistrate ordered the head of the Colombo University School of Computing to submit an analysis report on the mobile phone. Another headline from Daily News. CC meets for first time. Dr. A.T. Radhika Shibli Aziz civil society members. The Constitutional Council, which met yesterday, decided to accept nominations to the independent commissions from political parties and professionals and civil society groups. The Constitutional Council, which met at the Speaker's Chamber in Parliament, decided that the members to the independent commissions should be appointed without delay. More headlines from Daily News. Sri Lankan flight suffers hydraulic problem after Chennai landing. 116 passengers and crew members of a Sri Lankan Airlines flight had a narrow escape yesterday when the plane suffered a hydraulic problem after landing and got stuck in the runway at the airport in Chennai, NDTV reported. Airport officials said the aircraft from Colombo with 108 passengers and 8 crew members developed the problem after landing and couldn't move further. Airport vehicles were immediately pressed into service and the plane was towed to the bay safely, the officials said, adding no one was injured in the incident. Another headline from Daily News. MR says his government never monitored phone calls. Former President Mahinda Rajapaksa, while regretting the statement made to the Hindu newspaper by former President Chandrika Bandaranaike Kumaratunga, said yesterday that his government never monitored any phone calls. If we did, the same equipment would now be available to the present government, he said. In a media statement, Rajapaksa said that former President Kumaratunga herself has been found guilty of an irregular land deal by the Supreme Court, though no charge of wrongdoing has been proved against the SLFP members at Kumaratunga hurls accusations at. There were times she had to reverse certain actions due to public outrage. Whether such a person has the moral standing to go around the world accusing prominent members of the SLFP of being corrupt is a matter for the people to decide, the statement added. Rajapaksa in his statement said that former President Kumaratunga ran one of the most repressive governments in living memory. Members of a Presidential Security Division were convicted by the courts for harassing and terrorizing artists Rukanta Gunathilaka and Chandralekha Pereira in the presence of their own children, he said. He said that the doings of underworld figures like Beddagana Sanjeeva, who were prominent members of her security unit, have been extensively reported on by the press. We brought you the paper headlines from today's newspapers and we will bring you more tomorrow. Have a pleasant day.